Really proud of our defense in the second half. Held them to, it's a good offensive team. We held to 18 points in the second half. I didn't even look at the field goal percentages. Second half. Third quarter, we held them to 2 of 13 shooting, 15%. That'll win you a lot of basketball games. So I was really proud of the defensive side. It's nice to see the offensive flow start coming back together again. 10 for 22 from the three-point line is how we've been shooting it earlier in the season. And I recognized the team that was on the court again in the second half. It looked like how we started the year. So it was good to see that. Obviously good to have Lindsey back. And that helps our rotation and our depth. Really proud of the way Bridget's playing as a freshman. Did a great job of stepping in when Lindsey was out, and now the two of them together. And Nyla, that's a formidable front court trio there. So really proud of both of them and the whole team, especially the way they played and responded in the second half.
Alan, questions for Lindsey and Bridget?
Lindsey, just kind of talk about a little bit about what you've been through and what it was like to get back out there.
It was honestly rough sitting out. I always want to be there out in the court helping the team, but I got to see like a different perspective watching the games and everything, so I think that helped a lot. And then obviously getting back has been fine. So it was super exciting to be out back on the floor today.
How did you feel out?
Really good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you kind of kept your minutes down a little bit, but you seem like you were right in the flow. I mean,
Yeah.
as far as much as you can be after missing that much time.
Yeah, I was just trying to let the game flow and whatever and contribute wherever I could. So.
She started feeling bad again really quick when she had that air ball.
Yeah, that air ball, I was like, don't feel too good.
No, but she was on a minutes restriction, just coming back, and you obviously could tell that. So.
I guess just Coach mentions the defense right away. You've been struggling to shoot, as you could see when you weren't playing. But just talk about how important it was to kind of see some shots go down today and kind of get going as far as that goes.
Yeah, I think that can't give us anything but confidence moving forward. I think us getting stops gave us a lot of more enthusiasm and energy on the offensive end, which I think was why we were able to pull away there. We just had to string some stops together.
Bridget, obviously with Lindsey out, you got an opportunity and you really seemed to have taken advantage. Just talk about how things happen sometimes and what it was like to get out there and get a lot of minutes and come through and feel good.
It was definitely a great opportunity to have as a freshman. Obviously, I've been learning from her. They always say just like try and be like a sponge and absorb as much as you can. And I think that's just what I've been trying to do. And with her back now too, like Coach said, I think me, Lindsey, and Nyla together, we're going to be a great trio.
It's been kind of a strange MAC season so far in many ways. It's a really tight game at halftime once again. Just talk about that third quarter and what you were able to kind of do what you wanted to do on both ends and really get it going.
I think like Lindsey said, we just started to string stops together, and then we started to hit on the offensive end, which built our confidence for sure. Our shooting's been down a little bit, but I think we're on the comeback with that, so that's good.
Last one, just like I said, it's been a strange season so far, but you got everything in front of you. Obviously, you know the potential you guys have. Just kind of talk about where you feel like where you're at right now and where you can get still.
I think moving forward, we're going to get some home games in our future, so that would be nice to be at home and stuff. And I think if we can go up to some of these, like Buffalo we have coming up, and get some wins, steal some wins, then that will just boost us going into the postseason and everything. So I think as long as we stay true to our defense and use this game to give us some momentum, we'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, I think it has a kind of a calming effect on our team. That to know that Lindsey's out on the court, she's got experience, she knows where to be. She can tell people where to go, and we're setting up for offensive stuff. She knows how to talk defensively and sees things coming early that Bridget's still learning some of those rotations and that type of thing. But I think she just gives the rest of her teammates confidence when she's out there. So it was, obviously a great thing. I don't think that's the only reason why we won, because Lindsey miraculously showed back up on the court. But I think it has a lot to do with why we play well when she's in.
Your offense was pretty solid in the first half. You mentioned third quarter defense.
Yeah, I had no idea how we were winning at halftime, because I felt like we were down by 10 or 12 the whole the first and second quarter. But, and that's what we talked about. I didn't mean to cut you off there, but I was just saying we talked about that. I was like, we're not playing defense at all. We're not doing a great job of talking. We're missing assignments. They're downhill driving us. They were getting stuff, straight line drives to finishes, and said if you guys start playing on the defensive end, we're going to be able to score the ball. We just got to make sure we're getting some stops and play more connected defense.
Usually it's kind of the other way where the defense you kind of play off, your offense comes from that. Do you think the way you've been struggling to shoot, did you kind of work in reverse a little bit today?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, I thought we got good looks today, maybe even better than we've gotten in the last few games. We ran some different stuff than we've run before and kind of stuck with it instead of just trying a bunch of different things. So I think they got in a little bit more of an offensive rhythm. So I think that helped as well.
Like I asked Bridget, she gets this opportunity, and I think this is 6 out of the last 7 that she's hit double figures. She's really, taking advantage of it.
Yeah.
Something that's fell in her lap type of thing.
She's a good player. Yeah, she's taking advantage of obviously having Lindsey out. I mean, she was playing and giving us some nice. She had double-figure games before Lindsey was out too, so she's very capable. But I think that in-game experience has been. I'm looking at it like she's there still, but that in-game experience was really good for her and her confidence, and she has a better understanding of what we're doing on both sides of the ball now.
How much is this just something obviously you needed to win? You needed a big quarter to get it going. I mean, just to kind of have that quarter where everything fell into place and start to play like you're capable.
Yeah, it's been a tough stretch after Christmas for us. Even before Christmas with the Florida State cancellation, COVID, we had multiple players that have struggled coming back from that in their health. We've had players that have been playing hurt. And then on top of that, for 4 straight games, we were starting to prepare for one team, put a scout in, practiced, and then got a call that we're going to play somebody else. And so that shift, I'm not saying other teams haven't done that a couple of times, but we did it 4 straight, and it wears you down mentally to be prepared for that next opponent. So maybe a reason, maybe an excuse, I don't know, but I'm going to put it out there. And we don't get any rest because in 48 hours we got to play Buffalo, who's right now top in the league. I mean, as good as anybody in the league. Toledo's done a nice job too. We'll get some rest after that. But I told them we needed them to stay dialed in for 2 more days.
Last one, just talk about today was the backpack game, and I know that's all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, but something you obviously know a lot about. Just kind of talk about the emotions you might have been going through right now.
It's been tough the last few days. With my mom passing away. From dementia, complications from dementia. We had this game planned in advance. We didn't know that was going to happen, so it obviously highlighted that for me. I'm right where my mom would want me to be, and that's coaching the team. She was my biggest fan. Any teams I've been involved with, she was biggest fan. She was a phenomenal woman, a great mom, and it's been tough. But the amount of support from the Kent State family, extended family and friends reaching out has been very helpful, and grateful for that. And you feel like maybe you're prepared for that to happen until it happens, and then it just kind of hits you. So it's been difficult, but just proud. Once again, proud of the team. I'm thankful for this community and how they've kind of gotten behind me.
Did you kind of find yourself reassuring your players a little bit that everything was okay? I'm sure they were really excited to try to do what they could do.
Yeah, they've been great. It's we talked yesterday a little bit about. For somebody at their age, they don't know how to deal with grief, or it's uncomfortable for them. Do they come up and say something to me, or do they text, that type of thing? So we talked about that. Just say, if in doubt, you always reach out and let people know you care. It's never the wrong thing to care about somebody, and they've been great. Just text messages and coming up and giving me a hug and checking to make sure I'm okay and that type of thing. So there's a lot of things you learn through team sports. I'm not the only one that's had tough stuff happen to them. The players have had stuff, coaches, that type of thing. it's how you deal with that stuff together that matters. And so they've been great, and my coaching staff has been phenomenal as well.